Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Am I recording?
It's always a good thing to check.
I am. Wait, actually, you know what? You know what?
Leave that in.
Okay, take two. Take two.
Oh, come on. You weren't.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fifth Line Podcast. Nick has informed us. Also, welcome back, Eric. We missed you last week.
Hey guys,
Didn't feel right.
to all the viewers out there in the comments, who do you like more, me or Cece? And there is a right answer. So.
It's gotta be you, Eric. Come on.
Wait, real quick. Nick has a story to tell us, but real quick, Eric, can you just look straight to one of your sides, please?
Oh yeah, you can see all my flow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look at the hair.
There it is. He's got he went for the band. The band.
Yeah. So before Nick tells the story, my hair is like it's not going down just yet. It's still kind of poofy, so I can't really ponytail it because I get the wings. So a headband is solved the wingage for me.
Hey.
I should try that because I have the same thing. Oh, it's easy.
Jeez, now we got them competing directly in the same pod.
Incredible.
I got the same thing. Yeah, I might have to do that. Is it like the plastic ones that you kind of stick on there and then?
No, it's like just one of the.
It's the elastic ones.
Okay. Yeah, elastic.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's like a giant hair tie.
Yeah,
right.
essentially.
Okay. So Nick, you got a story? Why don't you?
All right.
Tell us a story.
We had no context. He's just
going.
going.
We don't. This morning, I woke up and I was like, you know what I want to do today? I didn't have a lot going on, today? And it was nice out. So I said to Erin, I texted her this morning, I was like, I want to go taste test Popeyes versus KFC today.
That was just your thought. When you got up, you're like, we are comparing chicken sandwiches today.
So
I don't know.
Just for a little context, it's been cold. It's been pretty cold here where we're from, and just today was a beautiful day. It was like 65. I figured he was gonna be like, I wanted to do something outside.
I thought he was like, I'm gonna go on a big ass run or whatever.
No. I did go run a 5K with Erin before this. So
goddamn. Okay, so you got prepped for the fast food.
It was like a treat.
So anyway, I go down to Clifton Park to get. Oh no, now people know where we live.
We're in the capital region. They know we're in the capital region.
So I go down and I get it.
Me.
And I shit you not, we waited in that drive-through line for 40 minutes.
Are you serious? Which one?
I swear to God. Popeyes.
Frickin' eh. And then you got there and they didn't have any sandwiches.
So you get the sandwiches.
So anyway, I get both the regular original crispy chicken sandwiches and taste test them, and I'll tell you that it really depends on your taste buds. I personally think that Popeyes has better quality. The bun is better and the meat is more tender.
Okay.
KFC has a different flavor in their breading that just makes it taste a little bit better.
They got the secret herbs and spices,
right.
Bud. Come on.
The 11 herbs and spices, motherfucker.
So don't get me wrong, Popeyes was good, and I'm waiting for when they bring Chick-fil-A in because I know there's a couple coming into town soon. So it's gonna be like a three-headed dragon to see which one's better.
Is that a piece of extra content that we do on the channel, gentlemen?
Do we got to do a blind taste test? You do a blindfold and take a bite. So then you don't have any bias. It's just you bite in the sandwich.
Yeah.
And Erin says to me on the drive back up, she's like, you know what we should do? We should get them from all 5 places.
5?
What the fuck?
Get the Chiking from BK because that one's.
You don't even bother with the McDonald's
you
one.
You don't know though. Those are people say that those are pretty good.
I will say
chicken sandwiches. They have a crispy chicken sandwich that's up there.
It's a new one.
I will say that's
instead of a McChicken.
It's pretty damn good. I will say.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Popeyes v KFC. Like I said, totally a flavor preference.
Who's your winner?
I like the flavor better of KFC, so I'm going to go with that. But I will tell you, quality-wise, hands down, Popeyes is 100% better. So
Popeyes is delicious. Their chicken
tastes like you're actually eating chicken, and then
I know what Chick-fil-A tastes like too. And if you take Chick-fil-A versus all those, it's like Chick-fil-A's got a completely different flavor balance too. So
Well, I think they also actually use like pieces of chicken and like not like the chicken mash that chicken nuggets and chicken patties are made of.
Yeah.
So it was.
Ooh.
I would say it was well worth the wait.
Dude.
So that was
my dad even said to me. My dad was even said to me, he's like, "You got to let us know how it is because I want to try it too."
Dude, you ran a 5K and then did a sweet comparison. Appreciate it. That's a productive day.
Yep.
See, I can't do
grocery shopping.
I can't do those
grocery
because
shopping and dishes because I like to let my sink fill up entirely before I do dishes.
Yeah.
Mike knows.
Oh yeah. Oh, Nick knows too, man. You lived with Nick. You lived with Nick too.
That's true. I feel like I was better there then, though.
Well, the problem there was that
we were all way worse back then.
The problem there was that I was bad as well. So us two together was kind of bad. I can't do that sandwich taste test because I can't do mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is just
I love on a fried chicken sandwich. That's like my go-to for condiment wise. That or honey mustard.
Honey mustard would be good. I like just pickles. I like just pickles on a chicken sandwich.
My go-to
Chick-fil-A
whenever
style.
I like make it at home, when I do like the breaded at home, is I do like a nice bun and then one bun honey mustard, one mayo, and then I put some kind of slice of cheese over the top of it. If it's usually cheddar or Havarti, it's very good.
Sounds good. Well, let us know down in the comments if you've done the taste test, the chicken sandwich challenge, which is your favorite.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I expected out of the story, but this was not. I did not expect this.
There you go, everybody.
All right, so that was.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
I've never had a KFC sandwich before, so I got to try one. But Mike, I'll hand it off to you.
We talked about it before. You moved to Caroline last weekend. That's where you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a bit of a wild ride.
That was crazy. Yeah. I don't know if I could. All right. I'm just going to tell the viewers this because I don't want to go too crazy. U-Haul's not bad. Just always screenshot your reservation when you finished it.
Yes.
But yes, I did have to take the weekend doing that. And all in all, it went very well. Back in Queens, the apartment's really nice. Like I was telling you guys, it has rooftop access.
That's
really
nice
cool views. And I'm just really excited because like we're back to, so we kind of got like a taste of this, like, or I got a taste of this when Caroline lived in the city when we first met, but we skate everywhere in the city. City skating is one of the coolest
really
things
fun.
Ever. You guys would love it.
That does sound like a good time.
Yes.
I feel like my opinions on New York could turn around very quickly if I got exposed to a bit more of that.
Yes. Dude, it's great. Oh my God. But I think so I got a taste of that, and now that she's back, there's this skate club in the city, Wednesday Night Skate, and it's just like this whatever community of skaters that are in New York via Instagram. There's always a meetup spot, and everyone just gets there, and you just take the streets of the city, and it starts in April. And because Caroline's back, I want to make it a habit to go with her consistently.
I think
it's gonna be so much fun
every week.
I think I saw that on her Snap once and like messaged her about it, and it sounded really cool. Yeah,
they did a Halloween one.
That was the one we went to.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was chaos. There were like people with like dinosaur suits and stuff. I'm getting a costume for that this year, and I won't tell you guys what it is.
It should be a skin tight.
Do we all plan to go down to the Halloween one this year? Is that do we need to plan
listen, boys. I'm running out of vacation time already. So.
That's the tough part. Yeah,
and on a Wednesday, that's a no.
I might figure out a way because that sounds really cool.
It's a no for me.
But what's super nice is that anytime you guys want to come to the city or check anything out with the city, we have Caroline there, so that's super nice.
We have a pad.
Speaking of the city, we talked about going down to see Eric when he graduates, right?
I said
something to Erin. I was like, you should talk to Danielle. She's like, oh, I might go into the city that day. I was like, I don't know, maybe Danielle will want to go with you.
I'll check. But she's also running out of vacation.
We could have. I haven't used. Wait, this year? How are you running out this
Well,
year?
no, it's because we've
already
we've
pre-planning it.
booked it. We've booked it already in the future.
Oh, for like your
end,
summer trips,
yeah,
or
like
whatever. Yeah.
a whole week at the beginning of August is Maine, so we've already used one of our 2 weeks.
Yes.
So
That's the one thing about, I don't know, like with my work, I don't know when the fuck I'm planning days off until like maybe 2 weeks before. Because like there's so much shit that comes up and I'm like, I have to work. Yeah. But
Yeah.
The one nice thing about, like, at least like when you guys come down here, like it's essentially just a long weekend. Like you guys know how much we did in just 4 days while you're here. Like everything is just around us. So
That's
it's not like we
because
have to.
you're doing like a grad party and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be, I imagine, on a weekend.
Oh, elegant.
Yes, it's a Saturday. So yeah.
What do you want from me, Nick? And anyway, so yeah, I would probably just do like a Friday and a Monday, or like take a Friday and a Monday or something.
We'll have to see how. We'll talk about that one offline.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah.
So into the hockey stuff,
Yes.
like what everybody's here for.
Maybe they're not. They want to hear us talk about chicken some more.
I think we should get to the hockey.
All right, so we're gonna start with some Russia. Russia has officially been banned from international play, and I think that's not even just hockey. I think that's across
It's
all
been
sports.
like, yeah, it's. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some that aren't at still, but like most, like it's been every day. There's been maybe one or two more leagues, or
Yep.
yeah,
And
for hockey,
yeah. So hockey for the IHF has banned them, and also the World Juniors was supposed to take place somewhere in Russia. I don't remember where.
I think
in
St.
2023. Yeah, probably. I was thinking they're Moscow, but that's no longer happening. That's being moved to somewhere, probably Canada, just because.
Yeah.
They have the most.
which I feel like
to.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't care where it is.
Yeah.
But no, it obviously should not be in Russia. That's a good move, I'd say. You never know.
I just with this in terms of like this compared to like all the, I don't think the CHL ended up doing it, but like there was talk the CHL might ban Russian athletes from their like import draft. And I'm like, I understand the banning the national team, because that's like representing the country, like that's
representing what they're doing
of the country. But like, I also don't think every Russian citizen agrees with all this, so I don't think that should just be a blanket ban on any like Russian athlete or whatever.
I think there's I think there's a good few that don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's at least a couple that we know of in the NHL. Like Panarin, obviously, he's been a vocal Putin critic before. I know Zadorov, even when this all started, tweeted "No more war" or whatever, which in itself is like a big thing for a Russian athlete to say, even though it's like it's sounds really just saying "no more war," but like that's not going to go well for him in terms of if he ever goes back to.
He's not planning to, I guess.
Like, yeah, but. Yeah, I feel like the national team bans just were a thing that made sense. Like, yeah.
I
don't know,
but it doesn't make as much sense to punish like teenagers.
Yeah,
like this isn't their fault, dude.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Eric, Nick?
So I wasn't aware of I knew that IHF actually banned Russia, but I wasn't aware of the other bans that you guys mentioned. I think,
to be fair, I don't know. I'm fairly certain the CHL still hasn't done that, but there was heavy. Like I saw like the Elliot Friedmans, Pierre Lebruns, and all those kind of guys, where it's like guys who know what's going on were saying like they kind of almost maybe did, like they were thinking about it, and then there was also the CCM withdrew all Russian athletes from their advertising.
That's what I was going to mention. That's the thing I heard about. Yeah, so like Ovechkin, Panarin, all those people. Yeah, they're just not.
Which, if you want to really go about it, how does it make sense for Panarin to like?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I guess there's not a lot of good options in any of what's going on right now.
Exactly,
is like, the thing. So I don't know.
Bans right now aren't surprising. I guess, I don't know. The one thing we have to keep an eye on, right? So we know all of this now, but how will that change as things progress? I guess.
Yeah,
that's something we have to keep an eye on.
I hope the war can stop. Is my basic message. I really hope this could end.
Me too, because I'm getting real sick of fucking $4.50 for a gallon of gas.
Yeah, it's
You guys
That's-
are paying $4.50.
It's
It was
It was
$4.43.
I
One station near me.
I'm pretty sure that's
Stewart's
not.
is $4.20.
I'm pretty sure that's not the war's fault.
I'm going to blame it on
Well,
I don't
I think it does have it to a degree because like a lot of oil comes out of Russia.
Yes,
and
but
we're
that's
not buying any oil from Russia now.
Oh, are we not?
Or I don't know.
Last-
I don't know if that's
Last I heard, we hadn't sanctioned
Yeah.
their oil yet, which
Yeah,
is the
no.
only way they make money. So
Well, even then, I'm gonna go ahead and guess they probably aren't selling it, as cheaply as they might
probably
at
not.
the moment.
probably not.
But yeah, it's only I got gas yesterday. It was like $3.90 something up here.
Must be nice.
Might want to check
I'll
again.
I'll tell you this.
It was literally like yesterday. I got gas. It
What the
was.
fuck?
It went from $3.99 to $4.20 in a day.
It did.
Oh geez, I guess I should go check again. I don't know. Wow.
I was because I saw it. I was like, it was $3.98. I was like, Jesus Christ, we're gonna pass $4. And then we were passing it the next day, and it was $4.19. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Well, so listen, I'm driving out. I was driving somewhere last night, and I drove by Cumbies, and it was $4.47 and $4.37, as like 37's your member price and 47's your normal price. And Stewart's, that's kitty corner to there, was $4.19, and I was like, I'm not even gonna fucking get gas from them anymore. Like, I'm not spending an extra 10 cents on a gallon, especially on my truck. It's too goddamn expensive. I
Yep.
looked back last year, and it took me $55 to fill that last March.
Jeez.
It took me $70 to do 3/4.
Frickin' A.
to do 3/4. Yeah.
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 I will say
Yep.
I'm lucky in that Crosstrex. The fuel efficiency is quite nice.
Anyway,
I
Just
know.
for heating
we're not
little
a
cars, and I drive like 2 minutes. So like,
we're not a
to work.
political podcast, so let's move on to hockey.
Wait a minute
Yeah, it
though.
wasn't even really, but this is
Problem
gas
is,
prices.
politics ends up worming its way into everything,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you can't.
one way or another.
I was gonna say, what's crazy? That's the thing. When I completely forgot. Last time I was talking to you guys, none of this Ukraine Russia stuff was happening, and then like over the weekend, it was like, oh,
Everything
this
went
is
very
happening.
south really
Yeah.
quickly, like so fast. It's not been good. Really
just
not been good.
before we transition there, shameless plug right now. Gas is going up, people. Rollerblade. It's a lot of fun. You should try it. Thanks.
I am gonna once. It's still a little too
Clears
snowy and wet and sandy around Plattsburgh, but as soon as that abates a bit, that's gonna be the way I'm gonna hopefully get in a little better shape again. Is I'm gonna start because I usually do during the summer. I always get kind of rollerblading around Plattsburgh,
You
and like
do.
last summer I did a bunch and was playing Pokemon Go the whole time.
Dude, as you're rollerblading, there you go.
yeah.
Efficiency. Also, I remember your rollerblading Snapchats, and now I fully expect
Yeah.
you to have speed skates and one of those like skin tight suits by the end of
Oh
the season.
God,
Good
Yes.
luck.
no! I'm so out of shape. It's gonna be hell to get back into it because like the normal route I go on has several areas of like uphill and downhill, and then I do
Uphill on rollerblade?
like a switchback, and it's not great. It's not gonna be great. I know it right now, but it is also really nice. Like once it hits like 60, especially like early May into like late May when it's still like 65, 70.
Perfect.
Just
Perfect.
the best.
Yep.
The best time because you're
It's
just skating around in like shorts and a t-shirt, and
That's
it's like
why I
cool
ran
enough
today,
where,
gentlemen.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
and it's cool enough
66.
where it's just like a nice little breeze on you. The best.
Yep. But
But hockey.
let's get back into our teams, gentlemen. Who wants to go first?
Oh man.
I'll go first.
Nick will
Yeah,
go
go.
first.
It's quick.
It's always quick. It's always quick
The
with
Senators
Nick.
are on a 4-game losing streak.
That is
They
not what you
lost
want.
to. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Listen to
I
this.
looked at it earlier.
There was a bad one in there. I saw
Yes.
it.
There was.
Mhm.
There was.
I saw
Matt
it.
Murray has not won a game in a while.
That's
Okay, so here's where we go. They lost to Montreal last Saturday. We knew that. Then they played Tampa, lost 2-5. Murray started that game, lost. They lost and got shut out by Florida on Thursday, 3-0. Can't win if you don't score. So there's that.
Those are
they
two
played
tough
Arizona.
teams.
Played Arizona last night.
That's not a
got-
tough team.
No, that was a bad game. Josh
Yes.
Norris. The only upside was Josh Norris finally came back this week and he scored that game. But Matt Murray was in that
Nice.
game and gave up 8 goals.
Wait, Nick,
Yep.
was that the 7-point Schmaltz night?
Had to be.
I think so.
Had to be.
Right? Yeah, right? Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, because 8. Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. Yeah.
Damn, Schmaltz, Schmaltzy.
Yeah, so losing to Arizona is not exactly what you want. So that's all I've got to say. Not really happy, but I don't really give a shit at this point because the season's almost over.
Next night.
My thing
What
is,
are you thinking coming up on the trade deadline though? What are we thinking there?
Move
Have you
one
been
of those,
seeing much?
move one
What's
of those
going on?
lower centers, like move your third center or something. Get it. See if you can get an asset or something
like
for him.
Tierney.
Yeah,
Chris Tierney was one we were talking about
Um,
before.
Anybody on an expiring deal, pretty much.
Trade Murray. Trade him to
Can't.
Edmonton.
You can't.
I
Hey,
don't
Edmonton
think
might
they
take him.
would-
Yeah.
Although,
I mean,
let me-
Mike Smith was pretty garbo last night. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get to that, but
okay,
he was not great.
this is my question though, because in the Arizona game, why didn't the coach pull him? 8 goals against.
Great idea. I don't know. I mean, that's logical. You think after like 4 or 5, that's okay.
You get the
Yeah.
next guy in, yeah. Or I mean, if it was just a night where maybe the guys just weren't skating, like it was going to be bad either way. But
Maybe.
I don't know.
This might be,
Matt Murray's been he's been around. Like I'm sure, although I don't know where his confidence is at. That's true. He's not.
this might
bad
be
His
as
confidence
last
is low,
year.
dude.
Yeah,
I can
it's
tell you
not-
where his confidence is at.
Yeah,
this might be a different approach, but if you're the coach, why not just start Forsberg?
Right.
How about that?
I would say like
There's that.
shut down Murray. Let him figure his like we said. this last
Yeah, like
shut him down. Let Forsberg and Gustafsson play for the season. You got to ride Murray out for at least another year, and you might be able to trade him on his last year. I don't know.
I think the problem there is the same problem that Florida had with Bobrovsky, is that they're giving him all this money, and so they're like, well, we got to play
Yeah.
him.
yeah. But Bobrovsky at least bounced back this
He
year.
did bounce
did
back
bounce
this
back.
year.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, speaking of the Senators, I thought of you the other night because Eric Goodbranson, right, used to play on the Sens on defense, and you were like,
Really?
trade the guy.
Oh yeah, he was there last year. Yeah.
He scored a I don't know if you guys saw that good game last night, Colorado and Calgary.
Oh yeah, he's on
Goodbranson
Calgary now.
He ripped one from the point off the post and in for the Flames, and I was like, oh man, Nick. I just thought of Nick.
I hate it.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
Everybody does it once in a while.
Yeah,
The
once in a
only-
while.
That's
That's
true.
like yeah, Nick. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good, dude. I was gonna say the only I thought of the first goal of this season, guys. Jack Johnson on a breakaway. You remember that?
Oh,
He just
yeah.
backhand beauty on a breakaway. What was that?
That's the thing. They're all still NHLers. Like every
Yeah.
once in a while, they're gonna do something. Like
Yeah.
they're all still fucking
Yeah.
good hockey players. Like
Very true.
The only
Yeah.
thing that anything good that came from that last handful of games. Also, they're playing Vegas tonight, so they're probably going to get railed again. But Zach Sanford got tossed from a game and just f-bombed on a ref, and it was funny.
Nice.
Or was
I
it
forgot
Zach
he
Sanford?
was with the Sens.
Hold on, let me check. It was either Zach Sanford or Austin Watson.
I think it was
Oh, it was
Austin
Austin
Watson.
Either would
Yeah.
make sense.
I think it was Austin Watson.
With his missing teeth. He's effing
It
with
was
missing teeth. How
yeah,
does
it was
that work?
definitely Austin Watson because he's missing his front teeth.
Do you ever think about that? How does he do it?
How does he do? Like chew?
He
How do you drop the F bomb? Say
Oh.
F.
Missing
F.
fragments. How does he chew?
I was
not-
like, do what?
Not how does he chew? No.
Because I imagine he just do like a little side bite, but
How does he eat a burger? How would he eat the chicken sandwich? How would he know? You'd have to cut it up.
I don't know. Do you have to have your front teeth to say fuck?
Kind of.
There's no. Well, I mean, if you're doing like a real pronounced like fuck, like yeah, but like
Well, just say
you're
it.
saying
Just say it.
fuck. Like you're not.
I mean,
like,
you
there's
touch.
not like a
it
T
touches.
where you,
It touches
What
your
touches?
front, doesn't it? Front.
my tongue.
No, your front teeth touch your front lip, your bottom lip. Do they not?
Fuck. I mean, a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that is like necessary.
think we gotta test it.
in the mechanics.
Austin
Well,
Watson. Will you please be a guest? We want you to
I mean,
swear on our
yeah,
podcast.
I mean, I've done it before. Just shoot a puck right here. This one will come out real easy.
Yeah,
The other one,
the
you
other
might
one
need
might
to do
be
some more work.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right. Next time we get together.
Oh god.
All right. So that's it on the Sens, eh, Nick? They're kind of just sucking some balls right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I still
Yeah,
don't know how.
I don't know. I mean, that's all I have to say.
Well, listen, I'm gonna segue in. Austin Watson got kicked out. So did John Cooper.
oh yeah, what
shit.
I didn't like look into it at all. I just saw on Twitter as I was like scrolling through. I was like, gets kicked out of game. What happened?
All right. So first of all, so the Lightning, they've won 2 of 3 this week, and they're currently in the lead with 1 period to go against Chicago. They beat Ottawa, and then they lost to Pittsburgh, and this is the game where it happened. And I think Pittsburgh seems to have their number because remember in the opening, the season opener, they smoked them 6-2. It wasn't even close.
Oh
This-
yeah,
This one they lost 5-1.
Dude, that was
didn't
it
they
looked
pull
so
their goalie
lopsided.
with like 7 minutes left in that
They did.
opening game?
They did
I
6
remember
minutes
that was
this
a
time.
weird one. Oh.
Yeah, Mike, that game looked so lopsided. I feel like, I'm gonna ask you. I feel like there were like defensive breakdown, like the amount
It
of
was-
breakaways and odd man rushes.
I didn't watch a lot of this game, but I did watch the parts I watched. They just looked lost, and Pittsburgh just looked better. So I just have to hope that somebody else takes them out in the playoffs if the Lightning can make a run. Because I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think they match them up well apparently.
Yeah.
But another part that could have been, was the officiating was pretty bad from what I've heard.
Okay.
And obviously, John Cooper's usually a pretty cool customer.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah,
usually.
he doesn't really ever.
Usually just rolls with the calls. Well, this time, what happened was I don't even remember what part of the game it was, like what the score was or anything. I saw like the replays of everything, and I saw like the play that led to it. Corey Perry, like I think, slashed the stick out of one of the Pittsburgh guys' hands. Keeps playing. The other dude stands
Sounds like
there.
Corey Perry.
The other dude stands there looking around with his hands like this.
I say it lovingly.
Yeah. And then the play ends up, Jari covers it, and Corey Perry's there because that's what he does. And
I mean, yeah,
the
that's
dude that
Corey
got
Perry.
the hands chopped out of his, or the stick chopped out of his hands, comes over and grabs Corey Perry from behind, like a chokehold, and like pulls him back over like a fucking full-on wrestling move. And so a giant scrum ensues. And they come out of they get everything figured out, and Pittsburgh has a power play. So so the one of the refs goes over to the Pittsburgh bench to explain shit, and doesn't come over to the Lightning bench to explain shit. So Cooper starts giving it to him and yelling at him. And I saw like somebody transcribed, they like read his lips from the broadcast and like transcribed it, and it was just him. He was like saying it was fucking embarrassing and like, stuff like that. And then Wes McCauley gets his panties in a knot and kicks him out. But I don't know.
We like Wes in this pod though. He's a good ref.
I don't think he
Usually.
is. I think he does. I mean, he's as good as the others, but like that's not
They all
good.
suck.
I mean, yeah, that's also true.
When your bar is other NHL
Look,
refs,
I
it
did
might
like
be
Wes
too low.
McCauley. Because you know what? He adds a bit of entertainment. But why is he kicking John Cooper out for yelling at the refs? You're telling me they've never heard anything like that from a coach?
I mean, they probably have. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention to the game, so I can't really say too much. But
Plus, it seems like it was an awful call. I don't know how out of that entire scrum it doesn't get offset somewhere.
but
but-
we're gonna talk about some stuff when we get to the Habs, because yesterday's game was a bit of a gong show, but we're gonna
Yeah.
get to that.
Yeah, I just whatever. They lost. I hope they don't play Pittsburgh in the playoffs. And then they beat Detroit, which Detroit another and again, and Wes McCauley was reffing this one too. They won 3-1, and the one goal, it was in Elliott's pads. It was a shot through. It was like a shot from like the top of the circles, right in the middle. It hits him and it drops down in between his legs, and it's there for like 2 seconds. You can't see it, and no one blows the whistle. And then so Elliott, not hearing a whistle, assumes it's behind him, so he goes to sit back and lay back on it, and then it squirts out, and a Detroit guy taps it in. Where's the whistle? Like, blow the fucking whistle! You can't see it for 2 seconds.
I mean, I'm done trying to explain NHL refs at this point, but
Yeah, no, you can't, but
they kind of just do their own thing.
I feel
It's
like
just-
those plays, though. I feel like those plays, based on the body language of the players, sometimes refs hesitate because, like, if everyone's still scrambling for it, the refs might like give it an extra second. But like, I know what you mean.
I mean,
like,
I
you have to-
agree.
And like there's only 4 guys out there, and there's a lot of bodies that can be in a
Yeah.
way of like getting an angle on where the puck might be. Like,
I guess.
but then there are times where like there are also times where it's like very clearly, obviously loose, and they'll blow it, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just comes down to the whole consistency thing again.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to watch an NHL game and be able to reliably know how calls are going to go.
No.
You can't watch a game and know how like certain plays are going to get called.
You know, though, with as much as we've watched, because I know I can do this, especially around a penalty, I'm like, oh, they're not going to call that. They just called one.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
Or like something, or they'll call one for the other team, and then I'll see the other team do something, and it's like kind of iffy, and I'm like, oh, they're going to call that. And then they
Yeah.
do, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
The funny thing is, it is possible for you to have a delayed penalty and then do something again that is a penalty and automatically have a 2-minute 5-on-3. But I think you would have to fucking maul a person before they would actually call that second one and give a full 2 minute. Like, you would have to do so much before you would ever actually see that happen in a game.
Oh,
Like, I see it happen in NHL all the time.
Oh yeah,
in the video game all the time.
I used to do that with my Be a Pro. If I got a penalty, I'd be like, all right, it's time to interfere, time to rail someone without the puck. See what happens.
Oh my god.
One last thing from that Pittsburgh game. Chris Letang broke his stick over Point with a cross check. Didn't get called for anything. And then Point was like, all right, you want to fucking go then? And then Point fed him.
Yeah.
Point
Remember
fought
when they
and was
said they were
giving it
going
to
to
him.
cut back on? Remember when they said they were going to cut back on cross checks before they started this year?
Yes, they did
Yeah.
for about a week.
Yeah, about a week.
Remember when-
About a week, and
remember
then it was
when-
done.
You remember when throughout Chris Letang's entire career, that's all he frickin' does in front of the net? He just buries people with cross checks.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Hey,
Listen,
now.
I get that.
Hey, now.
That's coming
As
from a guy who cheers for the Islanders who have Scott Mayfield, who does the same thing, but still two truths can be had.
As a fan of
Stop it.
a team who has had nothing but defensemen that do only that for years and got on a cup final run last year because of it.
That's
Shush. It's fine.
Ben Sherratt is awake right now.
Oh, I hate that. All right.
That was the only way he was useful.
But you went 2 and 3 out of the week. It's
Yeah.
good to come out of a week like that,
Yeah.
a rough week. You know.
Yeah. And hopefully they can do 3 of 4 here if they can finish out Chicago. But we'll see.
What's the score of that game right now?
3-2. 1 period to go.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty close. They haven't been playing well from what I watched. I watched the Detroit game. They didn't really play super well 5-on-5.
This time in the season's usually a little weird anyway for those teams.
It is,
So.
yeah. Yeah, they're probably starting to take it a little easy, and then probably with like 5 games left, they'll start to play the way they play in the playoffs,
Mhm.
and start to ramp it back in. But
Yeah,
It'll
that's
be
the
good.
thing. I have no worries about Tampa. They're going to be
Yeah.
fine.
it'll be good.
They're fucking good. And also, Vasilevsky's still such a fucking cheat code.
Yeah, he's unreal.
Yeah.
So good.
How about the Islanders, though?
So I was thinking about this. I didn't talk about the Islanders last week because I wasn't there.
Yeah,
sure.
And since then, like, if I'm being honest with you guys,
It kind of
I
sucked.
kind of wasn't paying too much attention. And then I look back and I'm like, yeah, I know they lost to San Jose, and then they lost to the Kings. Those are the most recent like games that I remember, and both of them were, one was 4-3 in a shootout, and the other was 5-2 to LA. They just got like beat.
LA's low key kind of good right now, though.
I am so happy I picked that. I know we're gonna look at this at the end of the year, like our sleeper picks for those teams to make the playoffs. I was wrong on a lot of things, but I was right with LA.
Yeah, dude. I had LA too, Eric. You and me.
Yes, let's go.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I forget that Todd McClellan is still the coach of LA. That's the weirdest thing ever.
That's where he's at now?
Yeah, and the Kings are playing well. Yeah,
Howdy, Mac.
I'm like, sure.
Huh.
One of those weird scenarios of like, an old recycled NHL coach, right? Just like comes in again, the classic NHL,
formula.
Cycle. And then he just starts doing good at some point. It's like, sure, whatever. But the Islanders lost, and then they beat Anaheim 4-0 randomly after that. And Anaheim's like been pretty good this year.
Aren't they in a? Oh wait, I have it open.
I think they fell. I think they fell
off a little bit.
They did fall off a little bit. Oh dear.
But
they did.
But it was in Anaheim. That's pretty good. They've scored 4 goals. They're the Islanders. That's pretty good.
They're doing things. They pretty solidly need to sell at this point, though.
Yes, and that's the thing we're gonna get into. I see things on Twitter, and it's like Lou Lamoriello is like, I believe in this core. I don't know if I'm going to sell. And I'm like, Lou, I will show up at your doorstep.
I mean, there's certainly players that you don't need to just be getting rid of, but like you need to be getting rid of your like expiring contracts at least at this point.
Yeah.
My question is, where's Chara heading?
Okay.
He's going somewhere.
Big Chara.
Before I get into all this, real quick.
Yeah, how have they been doing the last?
All right, no. So this past week, though, they beat Anaheim. They lost to Colorado 5-3. They were in that game the entire time. And there was a controversial,
that game against Colorado.
The puck was on the line kind of thing, and then they called it no goal.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was bad. To be honest, I looked at it a few times, and it's so close. I'm like,
the problem is
I can see why they called it conclusive.
Yeah, it's got to be obvious.
Yeah, but so whatever. Then they lost to Vancouver 4-3. That was frustrating. That was another lead that they blew. I don't know. Did you guys see the quote by Barry Trotz? It was actually after that Vancouver game. He said he made all the reporters in the room laugh. He was like, turnovers are a lot like ex-wives. The more you have, the more they cost. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the more expensive they are.
Barry making a joke after the game, because usually Trotz is pretty. Usually he's pretty.
Doesn't say much normally.
Yeah. He's like he's level-headed, but he's usually pretty straight.
He's a very all business coach.
Yes,
he's exactly. Like, I'm here to make them play hockey and play
yeah.
And if they win the Stanley Cup, I might smile, maybe,
perhaps,
maybe, but yeah,
it's a little sideways grin he does. It's like
he does. It's he's
like a pirate.
What?
He has like a little. It's like a little sideways grin, and then like one eye kind of squinches a little bit. It's actually kind of funny.
We call him Egghead. Me and my friends call him Egghead. He
Goddamn,
looks like an egg. In the most sincere way possible.
It's flattering.
There's always that picture of Trotz that goes around. It's like him smiling, like you just said, and then it's like you got to go through the fucking island or something stupid.
I mean, they've been struggling. They've been struggling this year, but like he's coached them to some of their best hockey in a very long time.
Yeah, I've loved watching the Islanders over the past few years. It's very entertaining.
I have not.
But
but
I haven't enjoyed watching Tampa either, because every freaking year they beat us. But no, well, Tampa's fun to watch though, because they're really good. But the Blues, the Islanders beat the Blues most recently, and they beat them 2-1, but there were 2 disallowed goals in that game, and both were scored by Kyle Palmieri. So he could have had 2 extra goals. One was a goalie interference on Oliver Wahlstrom. That was one of those goalies kind of at the top of the paint kind of plays. That one, whatever. The other one kind of annoyed me. It was a high stick, and they called it a goal on the ice, and then it was challenged. And it looks like the stick's at the crossbar. And if something is inconclusive, then you go with the call on the ice. And of course they reverse it. They're like, no goal. So fucking lame. This officiating was lame this week.
You goddamn right.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna get into that with the Habs Edmonton game from yesterday. But
that's I can't wait to talk about it.
Did you follow that game, Aaron?
I didn't see.
I did.
anything
I'm
from
going to
that.
ask you some questions. About that. But the Islanders, so all in all right, so there are a few things happening that are trending. Kyle Palmieri is starting to heat up. I don't have stats on this, but he's starting to score like a few times, like in the past 2 weeks. He's scoring, which is good because I hope he gets traded. And I wish him the best. But the Islanders, I don't want a $5 million Kyle Palmieri right now. I just really
Dang,
don't.
yeah, that's kind of a lot.
It's much too much. And Noah Dobson keeps scoring, which
see
is
this.
really good. Noah Dobson is playing so well. I want to say he has 11 on the year. I might be wrong.
I saw that he hit 10, but he might have gotten another one.
Yeah, let's see. 10. Oliver Wahlstrom just got 11. That's the other person I wanted to talk about. So I know the Islanders haven't scored many goals. Their leading goal scorer is still Brock Nelson with 20. Big yikes. This year, but
wait,
in their top
20?
Did you just say
20.
big yikes?
Big yikes!
That's a saying. What do you want?
That is a saying.
Are you laughing because you enjoy it, or you think it's bad?
I definitely said that.
I've never heard that.
You never heard
yikes,
big
dude.
yikes?
No.
Oops.
I mean, he is the oldest one here.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, Nick, you got to use big yikes. Say that.
Old man of the podcast.
Yeah, nah, dude. I reserve the old man of the podcast.
That's true.
Thing.
Nick's on TikTok.
Nick's on TikTok.
I don't know how you haven't seen Big Yikes.
I am an old man, and even I have seen big yikes.
The opposite of big yikes is in the top 5 Islanders goal scorers this season. One of them is a young defenseman in Noah Dobson. That's awesome. And Oliver Wahlstrom has 11. And Oliver Wahlstrom has not gotten a lot of playing time at all under Barry Trotz this season. So the fact that he has 11 goals is good because he's still a rookie.
He should be in a season like this. Well, actually,
getting play. It's a little
that's kind
hard to.
of yeah.
It's so there's 2 options. You can do that, or you can do what Lou and Barry are doing and just not do that. Like because it's that weird in between. Like there are seasons where like the Canadians, obviously, it's like why the frig wouldn't you put Caulfield out there and actually like make some attempt at trying not to ruin this kid's development.
Yeah,
that's a whole
which they have.
Yeah, yes, but so the Islanders, Chara had his. Oh my god, I should have.
I got it.
Down,
I got it.
Yeah, what's the number, dude?
1,652.
Yeah,
which was
1,652.
The most by a D-man in the league. Most games played by a defenseman.
Played with Chara. My goodness,
dude, he's old as dirt.
Yes,
he's been
doing this for a while. Yeah, he's been at it for a while.
It was really cool. He was injured, so when he like got that award, he wasn't like suited up. So, but he wore a suit and he was with his family.
I saw that.
And it was really nice. And then he posted a funny picture with all the with the entire Islanders team after the game. Everyone like got together with him and took a picture. That was pretty cool.
So did he get injured in that 1,650
no.
game?
So a few games before that, he just had like some undisclosed, like I think lower body or something. He wasn't like in crutches or anything crazy. He was just there in a suit.
Wait,
yeah.
So did he?
I don't know.
So did he play? He played in his 1600th game.
He must have played that game at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I understand what you're saying. Sorry. Yeah, he played that game, and then they came home for the ceremony.
And he was injured.
That's my bad.
Okay,
yes,
that makes sense.
Sorry. Yes,
that makes sense.
So yeah, that happened. Barzal is injured right now. Again, undisclosed. It's lower body. No idea. I don't know what the timetable is.
Hockey's the only goddamn sport that can get away
with undisclosed.
Generic injury disclosure.
I think it might be in the CBA, but I might be wrong.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that though.
So no Barzal. So the Islanders have had 2 out of 4 this week without Barzal. Sure, that's okay, I guess. I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs. I feel like I say this every week, but it's not going to happen.
I mean, that's pretty safe to say at this point, probably.
I think it is interesting. I think Chara, Clutterbuck, and Palmieri are some guys to keep an eye on and trade rumors as stuff heats up. And I don't know, maybe Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey's a big question mark for me. I don't know. He's just so invisible most nights. I like forgetting about him.
He does have a pretty good past of playoff success, though, doesn't
yes,
yes,
and that's really
and
important.
That usually holds sway with NHL GMs.
With NHL GMs, exactly.
Ooh.
So It's just a matter. He's another guy. It's just a matter of, again, it's another $5 million contract.
Dang it!
So
Yeah, that's.
I was gonna say,
no.
how sweet would it be, Josh Bailey to the Lightning?
Can you fuck off, Mike?
I mean, that'd be
Have you not had enough?
That'd be sweet.
They'd like a guy like that.
Hell
But
yeah.
it's so funny. So I say Josh Bailey is invisible. He's second on the team in assists. But like
That's
But
not
how many
saying much
assists is
considering
that?
your leading scorer is a.
20 assists. Sorry, Nick.
I said that's not saying a lot though,
man.
considering who you said your leading scorer is.
Who is
Yes,
their leading scorer?
Brock Nelson with 20 goals. Oh, sorry, goal scorer.
about
But
points?
points is Barzal, of course, with 37.
That makes 30s.
37
Barzal
points.
has 30. Matt Barzal has 37 points.
Sir, there better not be a Habs
Oh.
player with more points than that.
That sounds like
With this
that sounds
last,
like Ottawa's
with this
points leader.
last few games, Ben, this last like stretch of 8, there might be.
I think Suzuki might be more than that.
Do you guys know who's behind Matt Barzal in points? Who's the player and how many points? Matt Barzal has 37.
I will
so I'm-
say,
No, Mike, you go.
fuck, man, it makes me want to say Brock Nelson with like 30, 20 and 10 or something.
Okay, Ben.
I'm gonna say Beauvillier with 28.
Okay. Nick.
JGP with 31.
Oh, JG. Mike actually literally got this exactly correct. Nelson with 30. That's pretty impressive.
God damn, look at Mickey.
And I promise I didn't cheat.
And
I do have
third, so
things
it's
I
funny,
remember
the guys
that.
you mentioned, you would expect them to be up there, right? Like JGP or but maybe Beauvillier. Like, oh, young guys, right? Should be getting some points. Third is defenseman Noah Dobson with 28.
Rookie defenseman?
Rookie defenseman, yes, which is very
Hey,
good.
that's
Again,
epic.
is it good that
Good
Noah
on him.
Dobson is up there? Yes. Should he be third on the team in points?
No.
No.
Jesus, no.
That should be Anders Lee.
Yeah. So
And
they
for
have
the
to-
record, yes, Nick Suzuki is at 40.
Hey,
So
on the Habs. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm just gonna end the Islanders off with I hope to be talking about some trade deadline stuff, like some like actual like rumors going around hockey Twitter. I'm gonna keep my eye on that with some of the names I mentioned.
literally for
And-
me, you and Nick, it's just like, all right,
Yes.
March 21st.
Ooh,
And after everything
Come
we
on
said,
down.
after everything we said, I hope Lou watches the podcast and understands why he shouldn't believe in this core right now and actually do something that he's.
I mean, it's
paid
not
to do.
even not believing in this core. It's that like you have
not
other
working, man.
pieces around it. Like there's obviously like it's not like, oh yeah, you got to get rid of Barzal and Beauvillier. Like it's like you got some pieces there that you should be moving to try to.
Yeah, let
improve.
me rephrase that. There are certain pieces of this core that you should believe in, yes, and just move the other pieces that aren't helping it, please. Yeah, that's all I got on the Islanders. They play the Avalanche tomorrow, so that should be fun.
all right.
Interesting.
Real quick. Sorry, I just refreshed. So going into the third, it was 3-2 Lightning. With 14 minutes left, it is 6-2 Lightning
Oh my
Against
god!
against Chicago. They just lit
That
him up.
makes sense.
Come on, I hope Hedman had a fuckload.
I hope it was Spammer.
Stammer's getting assists. He's already got a couple, I think. But Benny, we've reached the section of the podcast where you talk about the Habs.
You know, the like half-hour long portion. Well, first I gotta stand up and show this
There it
jersey
is.
because
Yeah.
it came
Show
in
the,
ordered today.
Get the puck up close as well. The sweet, yeah, there it is.
The old NHL logo. I said it in our group snap. I miss the old orange and black.
I do too,
NHL
kinda.
logo. I like. I don't know. I dig it. And then this like I know it's not a flame, but it kind of looks like a flaming puck because of the orange.
It's a 90s
So it's
flame.
like it's. I just love it. I love this jersey too. It was, and then the Habs on the shoulder, the Habs badge on the other shoulder.
Oh, dude.
It's just
That's gonna look
beautiful.
That's gonna look nice in that roller ranking on at Marjorie Taylor Park. Marjorie Post Park.
Taylor.
Who's Marjorie Taylor?
Marjorie Taylor Green is that.
That's
I think she's from Georgia. She's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
out there. But
Yes,
yeah,
she
the Habs. Aside from this awesome jersey, I've also had some pretty sick hockey to watch the last little while. Like they're just
Yes.
good.
7 of 8.
All of a sudden,
Hey,
Yeah,
Ben.
they've won 7 of their last 8 and are 7-4 since Martin St came on.
Ben,
Morris, Eric,
can
yes.
I just say something real quick? The Islanders are so and I have a soft spot for the Habs because of you. I've been having the Habs make me happy. So that
Have you been just watching Habs games?
Yeah, well, highlights. Not games, but highlights. I love
Okay.
that, dude. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, the last week has been pretty fun. They had a bit of a gong show against Winnipeg, not gonna lie. They went down 3-1 early. Or no, I think it got to 4-1 at some point. But then they tied it back up 4-4. Josh Anderson got a hat trick in that game. But then they ended up losing 8-4. And then toward the end of it, Mark Scheifele got in a fight with Chris Weidman, of all people. After earlier on in the week, there had been like questions from reporters about the whole Jake Evans thing in the playoffs last year and whatever. And he was like, well, I don't want to fight, but if Jake Evans wants to fight me, I'll answer the bell or whatever. And Jake Evans was literally in an interview, was like, nah, I'm just kind of here to play hockey. We already swept him. I don't give a fuck. Literally, he was like, we already beat him in playoff. Like, it's already like I don't get. So then he fights Chris Weidman at the end and like he's like got I think 10 pounds and a couple inches on him, and he doesn't even get a punch in, and he gets just like thrown down to the ice and then gets up and then goes like, yeah, to the crowd. And I'm like, you're winning 8-4. What do you do? Anyway, that Winnipeg game was just a bit of a mess. But the games against Calgary and Edmonton were both fucking great games. Calgary, who's one of the hotter teams in the NHL right now, they went down 3-1 to them, caught back up, and then went up 4-3 late. Calgary tied it back up 4-4 late. And then they won 5-4 in overtime with Ben Sherratt getting the game winner.
Yes, Ben Sherratt. Wasn't that his second goal?
He scored 2 that game. Yes, he just pumping that trade value. Fucking beaut. That was a really fun game. I had that going at work, and then because it was a later start, I got home and was able to watch the third in overtime at home. So that was nice. That was really fun. And then yesterday, as annoying as the game against Edmonton was at times, they got a 5-2 win against Edmonton, which was also just a lot of fun. It's been great. Like last couple weeks as a Habs fan has been great.
I need you to. So I know the Habs are kind of. It's more exciting for you because you're tweeting about them more when I log onto Twitter and I see.
Yes, you can directly tell if I'm actually tweeting about them. They're actually doing something.
Yeah. Like the tweets, not like a longer post explaining something, but just like, what a shot! Like just in all caps. Like it's like, okay, Ben's watching hockey. But I was confused. I was reading your tweets, Ben, and I was like, you were like something about a goal being called back, and then you were like, doesn't matter, Suzuki will do it again. And I was confused, and when I watched the highlights, I realized, holy crap, Suzuki! Talk about confidence, dude.
I'm gonna go through that. There was some wild stuff, and like there was 3 separate coaches challenges on goals.
Go through the Suzuki one,
and
first.
One of them I was fine with. The other 2, but I'm gonna start just because this happened before the Suzuki goal.
Oh, okay.
There was a play where I don't remember who ended up finishing it on Edmonton, but it was a play where Zach Hyman was cutting in at the Habs net. He gets like nudged by Kyle Clegg, like at the top of the hash marks, and like stumbles a second, and then just skates in and clips fucking Montembeault in the net, and like pulls Montembeault to the side, and the other guy on the other side, and then it gets like puts it off his pad, and then it gets rebounded up, and they challenge it for goalie interference because and we'll go watch it back after this and decide if I'm a dumbass or not. But they challenge it, and they said no, it stands as a good goal because the fucking guy made contact with him. But like if you go back and watch it, yes, but like in the sense that in a play when you're all driving towards the net, like a defenseman will kind of get body position, and then maybe just kind of like go like this a little bit. Like, how when players will challenge and like get body position or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit of it, but like, I don't know. I think it's more frustrating for me because if Brendan Gallagher sneezes on a goalie, doesn't matter what the play is, if he's anywhere near like a foot within a goal crease, he gets called back. So there was that one. Whatever counts as a goal, sure. But then the one that annoyed me more was all right, Nick Suzuki, they're on the power play. He gets this awesome fucking wrister, goes in, beautiful shot, goal. Goal challenge.
Offsides.
For offsides, 27 seconds before the puck goes in. And the offsides was he was like carrying the puck across the blue line, and like he did the like sort of as he's skating, he did a pass off because there was a guy coming up the boards. So like he was literally just going across and was trying to get it over to the guy as he was going across. They did the slow-mo. His skate, there's maybe like an inch of space between his skate and the puck before the puck crosses the line. And I'm like, all right, fucking sure. I guess it's offside, but the tweet I put out, I'm going to get it up because I don't know. I didn't get that much traction on it. I thought it was kind of funny, but I'm going to read it anyway.
Shameless plug.
Was you just can't ignore the competitive advantage of Suzuki had being an inch offside 27 seconds before the puck went in, guys. Like,
I mean, that's the right. Yeah, that's the beauty of the offsides rule. Doing the exact opposite thing that it was supposed to be doing.
Like, man, yeah, I guess it was, but like, fuck, come on.
Yeah.
The entrance being that like that. It doesn't have any effect on the play if you're looking at it, but yeah, okay, sure, whatever. And then the third coach's challenge on the game, I actually was it was pretty obvious. Yeah, it was offside. There was like a play where Habs were shorthanded, but they were getting a chance up ice, and it came back across the blue line, and it looked like Armia might have held it, but then they played the review, and like the puck very clearly got back across. Like that one, I was less annoyed with. I was like, all right, yeah, that's just offside. But, the fun part after that Suzuki goal got called back, literally, so because it got called back, where the goal got scored 27 seconds after the offside happened, the clock got ran back to when the offside would have happened.
Okay.
So instead of the Habs having like 10 seconds on the power play, it got brought back to closer to like 35, 40-ish or something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they got back in on the power play, and Nick Suzuki literally just sniped it from like the same spot.
That's fine.
Again,
same shot.
He just came in and just ripped it, and it was the most glorious thing I've ever seen.
Like,
it was
the players, dude, visibly were so hyped for him.
It was the fucking best. And then they went into the third, and they were pretty strong in the third, and they ended up coming out winning with a 5-2 win. It was a really fun game, but like there was just like it was frustrating. It was frustrating. And then the only other play I wanted to bring up was there was a play where Brendan Gallagher was up in the neutral zone and like was just skating through, and an Edmonton guy had his stick fully down on the ice from the bench, which is against the rules. Like I literally like, there's an actual literal rule in the NHL rulebook that you can't do that.
Yeah.
And as it was happening, like Gallagher was skating by, and he like just fucking stick lifted him to get it out of the way because he had his stick out from the bench, and Gallagher got a penalty on the play. Just Gallagher.
For that?
For stick lifting him. And like the stick went flying because like the guy didn't but like he very clearly didn't have a grip on it, and like you're sticking it down on the ice, which you can't do from the bench. And Brendan Gallagher was like, whatever, sure, Brendan Gallagher reputation call, give him a penalty too, but at least make it 4-on-4 or some shit if you want to do this bullshit stuff. But like, no, just Brendan Gallagher. I was so mad. They killed it off anyway, which their penalty kill has also improved over the last week or so, like, which has been nice. And they had 2 power play goals yesterday. So, like, all elements are improving under Marty St. So, I don't know. I didn't expect anything crazy, but, like, it's a very small sample size so far. It's 11 games, but, like, everything's been fun so far. I don't know. Just yesterday's game was really frustrating. It was really frustrating, and then they ended up winning 5-2. So by the end of the third, I was fine, but it was a long road to get there.
Habs hockey has been very good. And with that being said, I don't know if anyone needs to take a break, but I was going to transition to the not so good thing, which is the MLB stuff.
Anyone want to take a break?
We want to do a quick break, bro.
All right, we'll be back. So and when we come back, we'll be talking about the MLB lockout. Okay. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. So I have an article open here. It's titled, The MLB lockout explained in 5 minutes. I'm not going to read it all because that would suck. But it's on SB Nation. So according to this article, that's by James Dator, is what it looks like to me. Dator. It's saying the owners want the owners want 100. Wait, what? It's saying the owners want like 100% of TV revenue,
Yeah, figured.
and then the players would get only a portion of the gate. Oh, and the owners also offered a reduction to a 154 game season instead of, what is it, 162 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like right around like a half a year. Something
Didn't Nick, you might know better about, I thought I heard something about like some kind of rookie pay or something, or
No, so I think that the pay thing is the minimum for your minimum allowed contract values. Hockey's like 750,000 is for like your league min, right?
Sure.
And I think there's a low league min right now, and I had this conversation at work. I think the league min is like, it's less than $1 million, but if you compare it to like, it's different. It's so different with baseball because you're talking about a league that plays, 100 plus games versus, I get hockey's a lot, but like some of these guys could be playing a lot on these low entry deals and not making a ton of money. So I understand the argument from the player side, but obviously it's like ownership doesn't want to pay extra money just because. So the league min contract value is one of the things that's been debated, and there was a proposed. I think they tried to get it to 750. I think it's lower than 750 right now. So I think they tried to propose to get it there, but players want more than that. So plus, that's bullshit about ownership wanting 100% of all TV revenue.
You don't have a game without.
That's kind of bullshit.
Like, you don't have a game without players.
You don't have a product to sell
Yeah.
without the players.
MLB owners have been notoriously super like
stingy.
Yeah, they've been bad about this. This isn't the first time MLB's locked out. So.
I mean, rich old men who have a lot of money don't often like to part with it.
It's been like the third lockout or something since 2000. Is that correct?
Yeah, they lock out baseball more frequently
they're
than any other sport.
I was gonna say they're trying to outdo hockey here. Jeez, I thought we had
they
it.
already have.
I mean, we had one in the 90s, one in the early 2000s.
Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report back in February, and I think we're close to the beginning. If we're not there already, we're close to the beginning of the season and already losing regular season.
I definitely saw I saw Manfred said they were canceling regular season games. I thought they were.
Right now, they have canceled the first 2 series for every team, was what I've seen. So, the team plays this in a city, they canceled that one. They were supposed to go to another city, they canceled that one.
Well, that was a dumb thing to say because they don't start their season until April. April is when they start, but
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know enough about the two sides to really offer any like criticism on the owners of the players.
And I don't think
this is the last thing the MLB needs to be doing is canceling games with where baseball is at as a sport.
Right.
It's already like more popular with an older demographic. I know like this most recent season was actually pretty interesting, and I kind of got caught up in the playoffs a little bit, but like this is not the time they want to be canceling games.
No.
I don't know. Especially in a moment where like the NHL even got an ESPN TV deal as things like
NHL is going to start to overtake baseball. Actually,
I don't know. They're a long.
That's going to be.
They both have their issues, but I don't know. It's sad that the season's not starting on time. That's not gonna help anybody. But
I just got into it. I want to watch some. I like watching baseball. It's
still
like
waiting for the Expos to come back.
It'll happen.
It was almost going to be.
Seems like it's pretty close to happening.
It was almost going to be the Expo Rays.
That whole plan always sounded really strange to me.
It was a stupid plan. and thankfully they kiboshed it. So.
Yeah, I don't even know how well, like, cool it would have been cool to have baseball in Montreal again, but then like everybody in Montreal would be like, all right, so this is a team that's going to play here half of the time, and they're not even the like what
Do
it.
they want to put him back
It
in
was
the
such a
dome
weird
though?
team.
Like,
I mean, there's been I don't know all the details on that. I know there's been a lot of propositions for other like stadiums to get built, but in all reality, it would probably be a circumstance of it'd be a much more reasonable version of what the Coyotes are doing, where they would spend like maybe 2 to 3 years in the dome and in the Big O in Montreal as they get a new place ready, because they proved it with the Expos before. The Big O was not a reasonable place to have it. Like, it was so far out of Montreal, and then like it wasn't a good place, and also it as a stadium was not great.
And it still has its building flaws, obviously.
Yeah.
The last time I remember, they talked about bringing them back and putting them in the O-Dome. They're just putting a team in the O-Dome. It had some, like, I remember the roof was falling.
Yeah, the roofs always had issues because they were like, let's do this suspension roof that can get retracted by this big arm that overhangs the stadium, and that'll surely not have any mechanical problems. But everything I've heard would be like, okay, they'd maybe spend a couple seasons there as they build a new place. Like, every possible like scenario I've heard over the last few years of bringing baseball back to Montreal has involved them building a new stadium somewhere. Because no, the Big O is not really realistic. But I hope they do, because I would really like. I was like, that was my team when I was young, and then they moved, and I kind of paid attention to the Yankees for a second, but then it wasn't the same.
Where did they move? What
they
did they
moved
come?
to Washington. They came to the Washington Nationals, but and I kind of tried to pay a little attention to the Nationals too, but like it's still like.
It's not
all right, it's not the same. Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, I remember I went to a few games back in the day too. I was really young though. Like, they moved him out of Montreal when we were younger.
I think they moved it out in 2004. So I really only went to games when I was like 6 and 7.
Same.
But like it became big for me in terms of as a fandom, and then was immediately ripped from me.
Ripped.
So that's baseball. We're locked out with no end in sight.
Yep.
Come on, Rob Manfred, get your shit together.
Give the players a little concession. Meet them in the middle or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, I don't know where this is at, so I don't want to say like.
That's that. Back to hockey.
Honestly, that was it, guys.
So I want to put a little plug out there.
So we could talk a little bit about
there's
something.
Two things.
Yeah.
So I remember before we got on, you had an item to talk about Brian Elliott.
Oh, I talked about it. It was that goal against.
Okay.
Yeah. You have something to talk about.
Yeah.
From
Brian
Brian.
Brian texted me earlier, and he says this is podcast worthy, so get it out there this week. All right, I will. So here's where we stand, and I was looking into it a little bit too while we've been talking. So Dallas is on a bit of a heater lately.
I noticed.
Dallas is tied with Minnesota, beating Minnesota tonight. Did that?
Yep.
Tied with Minnesota out in their Central, and
yes.
So they are right on that third place spot and first wild card spot. And the big guy that's been helping that team out is Mr. Jason Robertson.
Unreal.
Jason Robertson has back-to-back hat tricks as well.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So Mike already knows the answer to this. Ben, I think, does also, if he was listening. Jason Robertson has played in 100 games, or in his first 100 games. Yeah, I guess it would be 100 games. How many points does he have?
I know he tore it up last year, so I'm going to say first 100 games, I'm going to say 64 points.
Eric?
71 points.
Oh, boy.
Mike already knows. Jason Robertson has 101 points in his first 100 games.
Oh, okay.
Bro, the NHL, all they talk about is Kaprizov. What about Rob? No, I'm kidding.
Let me check. I want
to.
Well, this is why I said last year. I said Jason Robertson was a Rookie of the Year candidate last year.
Oh, no, he definitely was. I just didn't know he was popping off that much.
I
Yeah.
want to check this. I want to check
Holy mackerel.
by player.
That's insane, dude. That's so funny.
can't
Just before the podcast, I was talking to my dad about Robertson because we were watching or when I got home from work, my parents were watching the Minnesota Dallas game tonight, and my dad's like, "Yeah, that kid Robertson's really good." I'm like, "Yeah, he's really good." I was like, "I should watch him more," but there we go.
So remember our conversation last week about what are they going to do with Klingberg and Pavelski and etc.
2 weeks
You're
ago, I
Dallas.
was not here
You're
last week.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. Yes, we were because we were talking about trade deadlines.
Anyway,
right?
we were talking about trades and stuff like that, and Dallas's position. And like, if you're Dallas at this point, then you're just own renting them. You're not dealing those guys out.
No.
You're keeping them. You're
You
using
have
them.
to.
You're going
You
to
have
use their
to, yeah.
assets that you have because you're not going to get anybody better than that. I mean, you might be able to go get somebody better, but you have a team that's clicking right now.
Exactly. You don't want to turn over. You don't want to lose the jelly you have with this.
I mean, I think teams like Dallas, Nashville, Edmonton, Vancouver, all of them, where they're all on that wild card line, are going to have to probably wait until like March 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, around there to decide what they're going to be. Just because the Western Conference is a bit of a mess in terms of the playoff
if you look down that, like, Edmonton's right there.
There's
like,
so many teams.
Still, like, Vancouver's kind of out of it at this point, but if they get on a heater, then they could run back into it too. It's like there's a lot going on out there that's going to be a headache for those teams. So, I mean, really, the top two teams I think are locked, but the third and the two wild cards out, no way that you're not going to figure those out until
the second, third in each division in the West. Yeah, because the Pacific really is wide fucking open. Central's a little more established. Colorado and St. Louis are going to make it, and it's just going to be a little bit further. Just sort of, the Western Conference.
Because really, it's like those wild card teams on the other end, the West, are coming out of the Central because
probably
pretty shite. But it's like
St. Louis is only 71 points. I wouldn't even say that they're a lock.
They're not a lock, but like probably.
I mean,
they're pretty solid.
You'd think that they're up there. So
Colorado,
they've been up there all season long. So you have to think that they're either going to be, second, third, or one or two wild cards.
Also,
like, it'd be hard for them to drop out all the way.
Real quick, in the interest of accuracy, 97 points in 100 games, not 101.
That is
Brian is wrong.
That is still insane.
Still ridiculous.
That's still pretty insane.
Thank you for fact checking, my brother.
Yeah, that's on Dallas's website. So if that's wrong, then Dallas is wrong.
Did they play a game today? Did they update it for today? Yeah.
Okay, so if they update it for today's, then it's 100 points, and it would be 101 games played. So was that it? Was it the opposite? Was it 100 points and 101 games played?
Let me read the text because I very well could have read that wrong. No. He said 101 points in his first 100 games, but he very well could have texted that wrong too.
I don't know how to check if it's updated or not.
Anyway, either way, fucking nuts. That's really fucking good.
Ridiculous. And he's doing well for my fantasy team.
I wish I had grabbed
He's
that.
Making up for the bad play of Ben and Sagan.
Yes, that's right,
dude. I like Tyler Sagan. I forget he still plays sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. I forget he plays.
Yeah, no, it's like those guys fell off this season, and I'm gonna look them up right now just to see where they're at. But
like the NHL like post on, they'll be like, Tyler Sagan is like ready to go for this game.
So Ben now
is he really ready to go?
Jamie Ben right now is 13 and 16.
He's what?
But Jamie Ben is 13 and 16. So
that is is middle of the road.
Like how many games?
Like under middle of the road. Fuck, Nick Suzuki's got more points than that. Damn.
And how many games though, Nick?
I don't know. I'm just looking off of fantasy right now. So, and then Sagan's owned by the Slot Shots, so no wonder your dad's falling out of contention. He's got 17 and 13, so he's not doing too well either.
Yeah.
I don't want to they're still very serviceable players, but for what they get paid, it's just oof.
And for how they did like before.
Yeah.
And Raju.
Father time comes for them all.
Here's Alex Rajalov for this season. 13, or excuse me, I read that wrong. 3 and 15, plus minus negative 13. He has 72 shots on goal this year. That is way too low.
Dude.
So either he's been hurt a lot or he's been like fourth line grinding it.
He has had some injury trouble, I know that. And him in Montreal, Ben, I love
He was a great fucking time.
Yeah.
Man.
And in Dallas,
he was good with Dallas.
Yeah.
He was really good with Dallas when they had Sharp on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there for most of their games. He has 18 points in 49 games. And he's getting paid like, I think around 6 mil, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Dallas.
He's getting paid a lot because it took a lot to get him out of Montreal.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. I wanna take a look at some stats here.
All right.
I want to see who's got all right. Everybody look up your team. I just want to compare teams here.
Okay.
Montreal, you mean? Like
yes.
Or fantasy.
And what are we looking at specifically?
Just your team stats. I want to compare like points stuff.
Like point leaders, goal. Yeah. Okay.
If you just look up the roster and points, you can like look up all that shit. Jesus. Well, here's something funny. Vasilevsky's made 1,233 saves, and Brian Elliott has made 269.
Jeez, I don't even want to look at the Habs goalie stats. Okay. Nick Suzuki's actually having a fucking year for how this team has been doing, and he's been playing top line center minutes on this team. Like,
how many saves did you say Vasi made, Mike?
1,233.
Oh my days.
Nick Suzuki has 40 points in 56 games as a top line center on this year's Habs.
That's unbelievable.
It's pretty good.
That's unbelievable.
And he's honestly the last like 2 to 3 games, he's looked like the Nick Suzuki we saw in last year's playoffs, where he was just taking over games, specifically in the Calgary and Edmonton games. Like he just was like, no, I'm here now. This is me. I'm gonna just win this game.
Not the Nick
on
Suzuki
my own.
Not just the Nick Suzuki from the playoffs this year, but the actual that's Nick Suzuki when he has a team around him. Like he's just gonna be like
that is. I think that he's just gonna be that when he's like actually adequately surrounded. He's still not adequately surrounded though. But like I'm very happy with how he's doing in the scenario he's been given.
All right. So Stamkos is number 1 in points.
What's his points?
61 and 53.
He almost doubles the Senators.
The Senators' top guy?
Doubles the Senators' point leader?
He doesn't double him, but he's getting there.
He's close. Who is it?
Kachuk has 38.
Okay.
He's 17-21. He doesn't lead. He does not lead the team in goals. Norris still has that. He does not lead the team in assists because Shabbat has that. But what he does lead the team in is penalty minutes.
He's how has he been this year after all of that contract stuff?
So he's got 38 points in 51 games. So
that's pretty good.
I mean, since he got started, he's doing okay. I would have expected more for a $9 million forward, but you're also talking about a team that's not good.
Yeah.
I do want to shoot you this stat though.
Hit me.
Let me
Shoot me.
Let's talk about my goalies for a second.
Oh god. You sure?
Here.
Are you sure?
Here.
So, Ottawa's goals against average. Murray is a 305 goals against average, and Forsberg is a 2.8.
Oh.
His save percentage is a 906, which I'm surprised it's even that. And Forsberg's is a 918. So I'm surprised it's that.
Yeah, Forsberg's good. I like Forsberg.
Each of them has only had one shutout. Yeah.
Well.
And they've both got 60 goals against this season.
That's pretty bad.
Do
you want to hear something worse?
Murray is 5-12. Sorry. Let me just add that in there. So he's not. My hype for
That's pretty
Murray
bad.
should have never been there because he's
It
not
has
good.
not been a thing. Yeah, what are you gonna
Wait.
do?
So you're talking about no, Ben, were you going to talk about goalies?
No, I just have one little. As I'm scrolling through the Habs stats, like the team stats, I just noticed something that just fucking jumped out at me.
Oh, boy.
So the whole plus minus thing. It's not really that much of a deal unless it's like really
Unless it's
far
really bad,
in
yeah.
like one direction.
no.
However, I'm going to disregard Matthew Perreault and Corey Schoeneman because they're both +1, but have 17 and 8 games played respectively. So that's not really that much of a sample size. But for players who have actually like played most of a year, whatever, in terms of plus minus, guess what their highest plus minus is for like regulars?
I'm going to say +5.
Okay.
The highest plus minus? No fucking
for
way
like
is it plus.
for like regular players.
Absolutely
+8.
no way is it plus. Absolutely no way. It's got to
Okay,
be
so what's your guess?
-3.
Okay, Nick.
+8.
Okay, so it's 0.
Ah,
It's literally even, and it's Arturi Lehkonen, which is the least shocking thing ever because he's their best defensive player.
Here's a
Yeah,
plus
that-
Who
minus.
I am pretty determined that they should not trade. I know there's so much talk about this trade. Like, you can get rid of a lot of older contracts, a lot of expiring. Keep him. He's 26. He is the most dynamic defensive player we have. He's an RFA. You can lock him down for probably 3 to 4 years for like $3 million each. He's a useful player, and he's still young enough. Keep him. But anyway, Arturi Lehkonen is the highest plus minus of like regulars at 0.
Who is Ottawa's? Can you guess?
Highest plus minus on Ottawa.
it's none of them. It's a trick question.
It's
Wait.
Is it a plus or is it a negative? Do you think it's the same question as Ben? What do you
I'm
think?
going to say it's
Is it?
I'm going to say
How
it's-
many games played?
I'm just looking at team leader.
So it's probably like a high games played.
No, a team leader for that would be because
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah,
take
that's
it.
true.
It's probably
Yeah.
somebody with like 3 games
Like a
played.
5. Who's on the fucking Sens?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna
Dude,
say Josh
I
Norris.
don't know. I'm not gonna know.
Or wait. Colin White.
Ooh.
No, it
Good
is your
guess.
boy, Victor Mete, with 31
Oh.
games played.
Dang!
He has a +8.
Wow. Dude doesn't get scored on.
Sabat owns time on ice, 26.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do with that?
So
All right.
that's it.
Um,
That's my stats.
Shabbat's
So-
like half of their blue line at this point. Like,
God, is their blue line?
So
Who
we're
yeah.
just
I'm intrigued to see. Hold on, give me one last plug.
Yeah, you get.
I want to see what his. Oh, he's +1. I'm surprised he's not negative. I figured he would have been like
How
negative
is he not
40.
negative?
how is he +1 with the amount he
Tim
plays?
Stützle.
Yeah, holy shit, that's an
Holy
accomplishment.
shit!
Timmy's not a defensive
No.
guy. Eh?
No, he is -21.
Oh shit! Holy shit!
Ooh,
Get him off
that's
the ice.
when it starts to get to bad territory.
So who do you think the Islanders' highest plus minus is? The player and the
Highest
you've-
plus minus would
you've
be
got-
Brock Nelson, maybe.
You've got to think. You've got to find a happy medium because it's got to be somebody that like is on. It's got to be somebody that scores a pretty good amount of points, but it's also got to be somebody that doesn't play all that often, especially on a team like the Isles. So you've got to think.
Oh, I don't even fucking know then.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Bavillier. That's just gonna be my guess.
My boy, the grinder.
I'm gonna stick with Brock Nelson.
You know, Cal.
Cal. So Cal Clutterbuck is a -5. Anthony Bavillier is a -11. And Ben, who'd you say?
Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson is a -4. The leading
Oh.
plus minus player on the Islanders, and this is crazy. In 48 games played, Adam Pelech is a
Damn.
+14.
All-star.
+14.
All-star.
Yeah, all-star Adam
Defensive
Pelech.
stalwart.
Yes,
Eric
he
Pelech.
is.
And Adam
He is
Pelech.
that underrated
Eric.
defenseman. That's very true. So you
Eric
guys want to hear
Pelech.
something? This is my favorite stat that jumped out at me. I know he's been injured a majority of the season. Ryan Pollock has less points than Zdeno Chara. I know
How?
Ryan Pollock's been injured most of the season, but he still has less points than
Does
'Cause
Zdeno, is Zdeno even Chara? Wow, is Zdeno Chara even a regular? Like,
Zdeno Chara has 45 games played,
oh, so he is a regular. Okay,
and he has 8 points.
Guys, it's Zdeno.
Zdeno. I'm sorry.
He's never
It
he's
is
never gonna
Zdeno.
he's a legend.
Zdeno
the legend.
Zdeno.
What
That's why I
NHL
put the
game was it that did Zdeno?
Probably
Like
14.
NHL 14 or
Yeah.
something.
You know what? Now that I'm here, the one last thing I want to say, Ilya Sorokin has 5 shutouts, and he has
Damn.
a .923 save percentage on the Islanders.
So,
Damn.
how soon is Varlamov getting dealt?
Yeah, right. Where's he going?
Ha-
To a team who needs a goalie.
he
SpongeBob.
he has 447 saves on 490 shots, and he has a .912 save percentage.
912's not terrible. That's
and his
not bad.
and his record is 3-11.
What is that noise?
Nick, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Sounds like a weird, like howling wind.
I heard a like ding ding, and I was like, "We about to have a beat drop or something?" Ding, ding.
Okay, I don't have too many fun facts. You know what? I'll start with though. Plus
My
minus.
team's good.
Who's the top plus minus guy?
On the Lightning,
Victor
Ryan
Hedman.
McDonough.
Victor Hedman plus
Hedman-
27.
Hedman plays too much.
Yeah, he's top pairing. He plays against all the good guys.
But he's Victor Hedman.
He is
Cool.
Victor
Ryan
Hedman.
McDonough.
Let's lock in a few guesses. Nick says Ryan McDonough.
Corey Perry.
Ben says Corey Perry.
I'm gonna change mine to
Bogo.
Alex Killorn.
Alex Killorn.
Yeah.
All right. So the closest was Jesus H. The closest was fucking Nick.
Okay.
What did he have?
So he guessed Ryan McDonough. Ryan McDonough is plus 12. The top guy is actually Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
Interesting.
Plus 18.
So is he your shutdown guy?
He is the new shutdown guy. And then closely behind him is Anthony Cirelli. Plus 16.
Where's my boy Bogo?
Bogo is been hurt quite a bit, but he's plus 5.
He's back onto that trend of being hurt for the
Yes.
season, isn't
Yes,
he?
he is. And we're just resting him so he can cross-check a bunch of people.
He
in the
was
playoffs.
so good for like 4 years.
All right, but here's my last fun fact. Steven Stamkos is first in points. Second in points is Victor Hedman with 54.
Jesus, Victor Hedman.
54 in 54. This is why I say people are sleeping on Hedman still, and it's like, no, just because he does it every year doesn't mean it's not amazing.
That's insane.
Dude,
He's a point per game defenseman.
Point a game defenseman, and that might not have been updated. I'm pretty sure he got like 3 or 4 points tonight. But
That's
who
disgusting.
is third? Lock in your
Who's
guesses.
Third in plus minus on the
No,
Lightning.
third in points.
Third in
Jesus, Ben,
points
how
on the
much are you
Lightning?
drinking?
I knocked over. There was a couple cans on my
What'd you
little
say,
side
Nick?
gun.
Wait.
Alex Killorn.
Nick says Alex Killorn.
First was Stamkos. Second was Hedman. I mean, point. No, he's been injured. He was injured for a good chunk anyway.
He was hurt for a bit.
Who the fuck's on the Lightning?
What do you mean? They won the cup last 2 years.
I know, but then a bunch of them left.
Only that third line.
Fuck. Is it the obvious Kucherov?
Oh, he was hurt too. He was hurt more.
I know, but he came back and
It's
I
not
don't know.
Kucherov, although Kucherov has 28 points in 19 games.
fucking dumb. See, it wasn't even that dumb of a guess. Who's
I'm
third?
gonna say.
Oh,
I'm
Eric's
gonna
third.
say. Andre Palat.
Ooh, that's a good guess. Dude, he's underrated. That dude's underrated.
Mhm.
Nick actually got it right. It's Alex Killorn. It would 100% be Braden Point if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Mhm.
Or actually, no, because Cooch would be first if he wasn't hurt.
Only reason I knew that is because Alex Killorn went off to start the season.
He did. He had a good start for sure. Yeah, well,
I
there.
thought Braden
That's
Point went off too, but yeah, that's your point. Okay.
he did. He did indeed.
Any other hockey thoughts?
Yes, my dream defensive pairing would be Victor Hedman and Adam Pelech. It'd be the perfect balance of offense and defense.
Dude,
That's it. That's my
I
thought.
just
that's
really
the-
want Prime Markov back.
Maybe Lou can get that trade done for you.
Pollock for Hedman straight up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fuck off.
Oh,
last
I
thing.
don't know. I think that's fair.
Last thing. Corey Perry, 15 goals, 14 assists. Booyah!
Dude, 29 points.
29 points.
I mean, to be
He has
fair,
more points than Nikita. I mean, obviously more games, but he has more points than Nikita Kucherov.
He
That's
does.
fucking
He does right
stupid.
now. Yes. And
I
Anthony
mean,
number
Cirelli.
2.
How many more games?
Quite a
than
few.
Kucherov?
Quite a few.
Okay.
He's Corey Perry's. I think played every game. 54.
Okay.
Also, that happens when you
He's
get traded to the
productive
Lightning.
as hell, though. Like
It helps.
that's-
It helps that you're on Tampa,
It does help.
but
Oh.
still, at his age,
Also, dude, I saw there was a I saw a glimpse of Kucherov, Black Kucherov. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
Matthew Joseph. Holy shit. He had
Does he have the playmaking?
I thought it was Kucherov on the ice. The pass I saw, it was a one time right on the tape. It was incredible, dude. I was like, holy
Dude,
shit.
he's training
If
with
he
them.
can,
So.
if he can put that together even more, he's gonna be an incredible player. But he's running out of time. Because I think he's
What do you
like
mean?
I was really
he's-
young, Matthew
He's
Joseph.
he's 25 years old, so he's not.
Wasn't
I
he
mean,
having a good year this year though?
he's okay. He's 8-8, but I mean, he's
Oh,
running out of time because I mean, 25's not old, but like, you know what I mean?
I mean, if anything, he's probably not running out of time on the Lightning. He'll probably be one of the ones they'll be able to keep around because he'll be
Yeah,
cheaper.
that's true. That's true.
He's one of those, very.
But yeah,
serviceable.
you would say maybe be looking for him to build it up a little more. Like
Yeah,
this year.
at 25,
Yeah,
I'd like him to be
Yeah.
top two lines. But also
Yeah.
with the team we have, yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna end it off with one last bit of trivia because I want to
Ooh.
brag some more. Oh,
must be nice
all right. There's that. Okay.
to have Tampa.
Don't you remember when Tampa wasn't good?
There's that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wish that back upon him.
I remember that. Oh, fuck you.
But you know what the weird thing about Tampa is though? It's like I don't remember when Tampa wasn't good. I remember when we had to hear about how
They
good they
weren't
were
good
every
for
year, and then they lose in the playoffs to various teams. It was either Washington or Pittsburgh or the
Or maybe I was just
Rangers
exposed to it more because I was friends with Mike.
Yeah, you probably were.
Yeah,
Dude, they were
there
bad.
was a period where they were good. Like
Oh, they've been in the
Bobby
same
was there, and
Not forever.
LeCavalier, and St.
were.
Louis, and Brad Richards, and like they were good for a time.
They were
there,
good.
and
That
then-
was
I mean, it kind
beginning.
of petered off around 07, 06, 07-ish. It started to kind of peter off after the
Obviously,
04.
they had the number 1 pick in 2008. So,
Yeah. Stammer, right?
that was Stammer. That was old Stammer. And then they had the second pick in
And that was Hedman.
2009, and that was Hedman. So they draft pretty well.
I'd say.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of that, that was my last fun fact. Their first line is Cooch, a second rounder, Point, a third rounder, and Palat. Would anyone care to guess which round he was drafted in?
fifth has to be fifth.
Seventh.
And Ben is the winner. He was a 7th round draft pick. Booyah!
He was actually an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, imagine. Hey, St. Louis. St. Louis,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. He was never drafted. But
Also,
yeah.
I think David Desharnais, but that's a very opposite end of the spectrum.
All right. Well, that's all I got. Anybody have anything they want to close out the show with? Any funny anecdotes or anything?
Yeah, hockey makes no sense. Stats are crazy. Go Mets.
I'm excited
Okay.
for the trade deadline.
Yep. 2 weeks
I've
until
been
the trade
excited
deadline.
for the trade deadline for like 2 months.
Yep. 2 weeks.
But-
You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks left. Everybody, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends and family. 2 weeks. 2 weeks to see how teams are going to change. Peace.
We'll give you the rundown.
For
Don't you worry.
Wait, when is our?
the whole rundown.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
For the whole rundown. The Fifth Line Podcast.
We're